Mission Statement. In this informational essay about Rhode Island, I showed how rebellious and how much courage it took to make this liberal colony full of freedom. I organized my writing into chapters that work together to tell the story of how the colony became. In my chapters, I described the founders and the reasons for founding, the climate and geography, the economy and the major industries, the religion and the governmental forms, and the Native American relations to the colony and the colonists. In Providence, the devil was not idle. From the words of Governor John Winthrop of Massachusetts. Clearly, John Winthrop was wrong because in Rhode Island there were many opportunities of freedom. This report will include information about the founder and reasons for founding, the climate and geography of Rhode Island, the major industries, the religion and government, and lastly, the Native American relations in Rhode Island. Have you ever wondered who founded Rhode Island and for what reasons? Every colony has a specific answer to this question. First, Roger Williams, the founder of Rhode Island, was banished from Massachusetts Bay Colony and was supposed to go back to England. But once he found this out, he ran away to go make Rhode Island. He was banished because he wanted the church to be separate from the government. I think the colonists maybe could have been considerate to his ideas. Also, Anne Hutchinson was found guilty for making her own beliefs against the government, so she too was forced to leave Massachusetts Bay Colony. After that, she went to go make Rhode Island with Roger Williams. Next, Rhode Island was founded because not only did Roger Williams want the church to be separate from the government, but he also wanted religious freedom. Another reason is that Roger Williams and Anne Hutchinson wanted to share their beliefs in a land that they could. In conclusion, if you want religious freedom in those 13 colonies, you should go to Rhode Island. Every colony has a very specific climate and geography. These two features affected the colonists' daily lives. Firstly, the colony of Rhode Island had frigid winters and hot summers. This was because it was located north in the 13 colonies. Additionally, the hot summers and cold winters made great for fishing and farming. Maybe the colonists wanted flat land, so farming would be less difficult. Next, Rhode Island had hilly but fertile soil, rivers, and vast forests. Also, the fertile soil in Rhode Island made farming a popular business. On the farms they grew apples, corn, onion, and more. Altogether, the climate and geography affects the colonists' daily lives. Rhode Island's economy would not be great without its major industries. First of all, most of Rhode Island's economy was based off of the farming industry. Most of the colonists were farmers. Not only was farming a large industry, but also fishing, whaling, and sailing were large industries in Rhode Island. They were large industries because of the fact that Rhode Island had a lot of rivers and streams, and also it was right on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. I can imagine that it would get old and boring to get up and fish and fish and fish. By the way, Newport and Providence were both great port cities for ships to come in and out and drop goods. Next, woodworking was another major industry in Rhode Island. There would be house building, shipbuilding, and many other woodworking industries. In addition, shipping was another major industry. The colonists would use the triangular trade. The triangular trade was when a ship would bring goods to Europe and then trade them there. Then they would bring the goods to Africa and trade them for slaves. In short, Rhode Island would not have an economy without major industry. Rhode Island would definitely not be the same without its government and freedom of religion. Firstly, Rhode Island was made for freedom of religion. Anyone could come and not be persecuted just because of their religion. Second, freedom of religion wasn't just supported, but they also had lots of chapels, churches, monasteries, meeting houses, and more. The government of Rhode Island was governed by 5 government officials called disposers. You could only vote if you owned land and you were a man. Rhode Island was also the most democratic colony. Great Britain banned the use of making money, but it was later taken off. It must have been annoying to be ruled by Great Britain all the time. Great Britain also sent the Navigational Acts to Rhode Island. They were laws that Great Britain sent banning activities and ways of doing things. Rhode Island had a law about not having slavery. Since the colonists were so money hungry, They later decided the law should be taken off. In conclusion, Rhode Island would not stay in order without its government and religion. In Rhode Island, Native Americans were a big part of the colony, and they helped the colonists in their daily lives. First, the Native Americans would trade meat and fur, and the colonists would trade metal tools, pots, gunpowder, and guns to the Native Americans. This helped both the Native Americans and colonists in their daily lives. Secondly, early on when the colonists first came to Rhode Island, the Native Americans would bring food to the colonists when they didn't have enough to feed their people. Third, when the colonists came, they spread deadly diseases to the Native Americans' bodies which weren't immune to them. Smallpox wiped out 75% of the Wampanoag Native American tribe. I can imagine that the Native Americans were afraid of the colonists because they were coming, spreading diseases, and killing their friends. Fourth, before Roger Williams came to Rhode Island, the Native Americans had been there for over 8,000 years. In conclusion, Rhode Island would not be the place it is today without the Native Americans. Now that you have read my report, I hope you have learned a lot. Since there were so many punishments in England on the colonies, trouble is soon to be coming. Even though Rhode Island is small in size, it is big in courage.